Hello, true duelists. My name is Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. At long last, the weekend of YCSs has come and gone, with YCS London, Los Angeles, and Bogota all having taken place this past weekend. Following weeks of regionals showing an incredibly diverse format, we have another proper look at the top decks from the top players, because I can assure you, big-time players were most certainly attending at least one of these events. All of them. Every one of them had some big-name players. Congrats go out, of course, to the three YCS champions crowned last weekend, with Paulie Anderson winning YCS Los Angeles with Cash Tira, Esteban Velasquez playing Cash Tira at YCS Bogota, and Samir Bakar playing, you guessed it, Sprite. Yeah, that's right, not Cash Tira. They didn't take 3 for 3, and for once it's not Latin America YCS being the standout and different one. It's London, so progress. These three were some of the biggest events ever in the game's entire history, and that's not me even being exaggerative at all. YCS Bogota reportedly had over 1,100 players, YCS Los Angeles hit 3,200, and YCS London had 3,500 players, making it the largest ever YCS in the EU and in general anywhere, if I'm not mistaken. So, for all you doomers telling me that the game is dead and dying and no one likes it, you're not just wrong, you're stupid. These three events are, of course, a strong argument for what is a problem or will need to be addressed in the coming ban list, because while the event's done, it's time for everyone to hype up ban list season. And lo and behold, most people seem to agree that the format is actually fairly fine. Cash Tira could use a slap on the wrist, no doubt, but for all the hype of the infamous 9-zone lock from last time round at the Team YCS Mexico event, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was still a good deck, but it wasn't like 9 lock every time, so shoutouts to this picture, but it wasn't too relevant this time around. With that being said, conversion rates for Cash Tira were pretty nuts. Take, for example, from what I can gather at YCS London, Cash Tira made up 19% of all decks being played on day 1, and 41% of decks that made it to top 64. A pretty high conversion rate. Almost as high as you need to be to enjoy playing the deck fittingly enough, because Arise Heart Pass, my god, what a rush. What a riveting gameplay experience. It gets even crazier for top 8, however, with Cash taking 6 out of 8 spots for 75% showing of all of top 8. All just to lose to Sprite with no elf. Turns out that Sprite is a phenomenal deck still, who would have guessed? Meanwhile, YCS Los Angeles had 52% of top 64 taken up by Cash Tira, with the second most represented deck being Runic Naturia, with just 10%. In regard to real numbers, that means 33 tops in top 64 for Cash Tira, compared to the second place Runic Naturia's 7. Just a bit of a dominant showing. It continued on to take 4 slots in top 8 of YCS Los Angeles, along with 1 apiece for Fluwandereeze, Naturia Runic, Tri-Brigade Sprite, and Rika. The difference being it won out the event entirely. Shoutouts to the Rika player though, people love plants and anime girls, but yeah, what is there to say? As for YCS Bogota, well, once again, Konami has held no stream and no real blog posts beyond pairings and the names of players topping. Not even their deck, just the name. Dead ass. Like, look at this blog post. I haven't even edited it. That is the full coverage of the finals. Good luck. Who's playing? What are they playing? Fuck you. You don't need to know. Who gives a shit? Not them. Not them. Only, players. Us. Me. I wish I could report on it, but I can't. Thanks, Konami. Really, these 3 YCSs all held on the same date showcased the known and real trouble and differences between coverage from the different regions. Konami EU knocked it out of the park once again to no one's shock. The commentators were lively, player interviews were interesting, there were things to watch in between the stream that wasn't just 40-minute shots of the crowd, and you could feel the energy from that crowd when duels were going on. Seriously, if you go back and watch the Game 3 of the finals of Samir versus Tom and that double Curry Kara play, fucking spoilers, sorry, but the hype in that moment was real, and you could feel it from the crowd. Very much akin to like an actual proper sporting event. and that's great. As for, YCS Los Angeles, well, this tweet from YouTuber and streamer Distant Coder highlights it beautifully. The EU, right after the finals versus NA. There's no contest. Granted, I believe the YCS Los Angeles ended later and had a longer day. There are factors outside of Konami's control, and I get that. But there are more things you can do and showcase during streaming and at the event to keep the crowd interested. That would be a lot better, and I think it'd be really cool if I could attend a North American YCS and get that same level of hype from the crowd as exists in the EU. But as it is, apparently I need to save up for an EU ticket and go to a YCS over there, because that's where the cool shit happens. And as for Latin America, well, I've already said it. That we remember it exists. I see you, Latin America, figuratively, not literally, but all just meaningless blog posts. All just, meaningless recognition. Like, me being like, Latin American YCSs exist it's useless. We're not gonna pretend that's bigger than it is. It'd be a lot cooler to get actual coverage from these events. I want more knowledge about the metagame at large. I find it interesting. Please, Konami, please. All in all, it was a pretty hype weekend. There were some letdowns in some capacities, but there was some real highlights as well. The main events were huge. Side events at YCS Los Angeles included 107 flights of Edison format, from what I've been told. I assume a flight just means a duel. I don't know. I just saw the term used and now I'm using it. And 3 people apparently played in Gumblar format. What the fuck is wrong with you? 6 people, I guess. 3 duels? I don't know. Why? Who's playing in that? Masochists. Bad people. Why would you do that to yourself? It's so confusing. Lastly, for what I'll highlight in regard to the YCSs, well, 2 things that I find funny. For starters, apparently Fur Hire made it farther at YCS London than Labyrinth did, which, my God, what a sentence. And what a great edit of Rex here. Phenomenal. And last up is some Spice Watch nonsense, because in the top 64 at YCS Los Angeles, there was one Luna Kaiju rank 8 spam deck. We're talking 7 main decked Kaijus, 2 interrupted slumbers. We got main deck Change of Hearts, Lightning Storms, Melfi Daddy, 3 Fairy Tail Luna, and just blatant disregard for basic human decency in the name of some ignorant deck building, and that is based as all hell. I respect it. There isn't very much to say here. It's Luna Kaiju. You give them a Kaiju and you use Luna to bounce it, and then you give them another Kaiju. Peak Yu-Gi-Oh! And it got to top 64 in fucking Cash Tira format. My God. Kudos to the pilot, Chris Wadden, and may God have mercy on your soul. All in all, it was a fun weekend for many, and now we wait for the next YCS, namely YCS Philadelphia, set to take place on the weekend of May 13th and 14th? Just kidding. Super secret, Konami has moved the date for YCS Philadelphia by 2 weeks. Yeah, instead of taking place on the 13th and 14th of May this year, it instead is now to be held on the 27th and 28th. This was confirmed in a tweet by the North American Konami TCG account on the 31st of March, with no exact reason given as to why the date has been moved. Redditors, the most intelligent of beings, have made comment that there's a Taylor Swift concert being held in Philadelphia on the same weekend as the original planned date, which could have impacted accommodations for players. That's more reason with some solid logic than Konami has given us, and it could absolutely be a factor. This says nothing for anyone who, I don't know, booked a flight or a hotel already for that weekend. Hope that your airline and hotel could accommodate you just shifting up 2 weeks, but fingers crossed. Would have been nice to have been given an exact reason. I get that shit happens, but at least we have a month's notice. Copium. Once again, Taylor Swift has ruined things for me. From breakups wherein I was stuck living with my ex, hearing we're never getting back together every time I got home from work, to now moving YCSs. She's killing the planet with her incessant plane use, and now she's killing Yu-Gi-Oh! Players' wallets by moving YCS states. Truly, when it comes to Taylor Swift, nothing is sacred. In some Master Duel news, I'm sure everyone on Earth is excited for and equally shocked by tier limits coming to the game. Yes, they've been set to come out on April 10th, and they've already been preemptively hit because it's fucking Tearshizu. Of course they're preemptively hit. Kit Kalos and the field spell Perlerino have been limited preemptively, as well as Sheeran, Merly, and Habnus being semi-limited. The only thing notable that keeps them in check with heavy quotations, in my opinion, would be the semi-limit or the limit of the field spell, because you only need one Kit Kalos to do what you need to do, and 2 of the names are still going to be milled by the Ishizu cards. So it's still going to be Tearshizu, just a little tiny bit worse. And that little tiny bit worse does not make up for how many stratospheres above everything else Tearshizu is. So enjoy that. I like it, because they know that these are going to be a problem, but they're not going to do enough to really hurt them, just to be like, oh, we got it, guys, we see it. We'll get it next month. And yeah, I give it about a month or 2 before Kit Kalos can be illegal everywhere like it fucking should be. So, hope you like Master Duel. April 10th, Armageddon. Can't wait. In product news, Konami has announced the tins for 2023, and after 4 straight years of DM support in the tins, we at long last have a chance for there to be something else in the tins. And in the year of the 25th anniversary, no less. Praise Xenu! These tins are, of course, celebrations of the 25th anniversary. The 25th anniversary tin Dueling Heroes, featuring doubled prismatic secret rares and a bonus quarter-century secret rare in every tin. Each tin will be coming with 3 packs, with each pack having 2 prismatic secret rares, 2 ultras, 1 super, 1 rare, and 12 commons, meaning that each time you buy a tin, you will be getting guaranteed 6 secrets, 6 ultras, 3 supers, 3 rares, and 36 pieces of landfill. Interesting. All on top of the guaranteed quarter-century secret rare. As standard, the packs have reprints of the past year's set, with Konami explicitly naming Battle of Chaos, Dimension Force, Darkwing Blast, Tactical Masters, Grand Creators, and more. These tins are set to release on the 6th of September of 2023, with a retail price of $21.99 USD. We have also now seen what the quarter-century secret rare will look like, with the 6 available prints that come in the 25th anniversary Legendary Collection having been shown, and they seem comparable in appearance to the Starlight rares. Whether that's true or an exaggeration, or whether you think that that's good or bad, I don't give a shit. That's what they look like, and I'm reporting on it. Just look at that. Tablet Blue Eyes, it's 98th printing. And one of 4 I expect us to get this year, Konami. Give me more Blue Eyes, just more product, my god. I'm not complaining though, as an affordable Therian's core would be pretty dope for me. I want to play Cyber Dragon again. Notably, they did not mention Power of the Elements in their little promo. Might have something to do with the fact that like half the fucking set's on the ban list in some capacity. Oops, we accidentally the format, you know. There are as many tier limit cards on the ban list as off the ban list, I'm pretty sure, and you can't convince me otherwise. I don't believe in facts. I do wonder how much reprint incentive there is for that set at this point, but if nothing else, there's a guaranteed promo. We don't know what the promo will be, we just know that there's a guaranteed promo. Stay tuned for more news. There's been another product announced for the TCG, namely a version of Kaiba's Suitcase. Yes, Kaiba's case he used to carry around his cards is being made to order and will be available for TCG players. The case will come with 3 prismatic secret rare prints of Blue Eyes White Dragon, as well as a deck of 58 cards used by Kaiba from the anime with 3 TCG imports, namely of Life Shaver, Attack Guidance Armor, and Magical Trick Mirror. They all exist already, and I'm pretty sure they're all bad, so let's keep moving on. The case also has dividers for players to put in decks, as well as a band to hold a playmat in. There's no price known as of yet, but a similar product was made available in the OCG that went for roughly the equivalent of $300 US. Or I'm lying and the price is up, I'm not quite sure. Notably, Blue Eyes has had 1 prismatic secret rare print before this as a promo from a Game Boy Color game from more than 20 years ago. A single copy of a Prismatic Secret Rare Blue Eyes goes for roughly $1,000 US from what I've been able to see, meaning that at $2,500 this suitcase would be below market value. And I would refuse to pay for it entirely. The pot series, for reference, was $200. I'm guessing this will be at most about $300. Just a prediction. We'll know sometime this month, as that's the info we have so far, and they said that at some point this month it will be announced. It, again, will be made to order, meaning that they'll take orders, make that many, and then that's it. So get ready to consume, because you can finally be that guy at locals. And for some people, they've been waiting a long time for the chance to be that guy. Not that guy, mind you. Fuck that guy. We're talking that guy. It's a subtle but important distinction. And real quick, I'm going to plug my shit, because holy, look, there's more cards coming out. We got a new Synchro archetype for the Bizaz lore, and the Monarch support, because Lithium bribed Konami, probably. That's what I'm going to go with, because he wants to support wave number 3 for Monarchs. I go over it all and more in this week's new card report, and there's even one coming out tomorrow as well. So if that doesn't hook you, okay, because we're moving on to the next segment. In community news, literally every creator ever in the Yu-Gi-Oh sphere went to one of the 3 YCSs this past weekend. And so that's what's been up in regard to the community news. A lot of people pogging because like Farfa and MBT were in the same building and somehow that building still stood. I don't know why it would collapse. There's literally no reason for it to, but it did. So I'm just reporting facts, I guess. I expect you'll see a number of collab videos soon between various creators, notably those who went to London, because that's a chance for NA and EU creators to collab, so that's neat. And I'd like to take the time, of course, to point out this photo of Konami representative Douglas Zeef, who went to YCS London and in his round 1 match, dueled his editor, who also lives in North America, namely Brian of Crush Cards, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry if I got that name wrong. Hoopsie doopsie. Whoops, should have checked before I filmed. My bad. Just imagine, though, from the editor's point of view. You get the editing done for your channel and your other channels that you're working for, so that you have time to go on vacation. And then you fly out to London to enjoy the sights and then some duels at YCS London, and your round 1 opponent is your fucking boss. Like, imagine you go on vacation and you run into your boss. It's like, that's hands. I'm sure that, Zeef and the Crush Cards relationship is far more healthy than my previous experiences have been with management in various places, but the concept, my God, what a day ruiner, working for a guy who hugs a Sfeel plush like Twitter users hold their smoking Italian wives. We here at The Update did not ask Zeef for a comment because it doesn't fucking matter, but I do assume that in his brain his response would have gone something like this. Yeah, that's the inside of Zeef's head right there. That's what his brain does. Also this week, Twitter artist Nintella_Grim made this little video of Melfi Rabby breakdancing. Oh my God. That is true beauty. That I can get behind. And that's all I have this week, so fuck it, on to the sponsor. Thanks, as always, go to the sponsor of The Update, the LIFD Magnetic Display. The best way to support the channel at current, and proof at least one entity is okay with my excessive swearing. Be yourself, kids, even if you say fuck way too much. Definitely have diluted the value of that word coming from me. Whoops, my bad. So if you'd like to help out the channel and help those who help the channel, you can help yourself to a 15% discount by using promo code YGOSTRATS at the checkout or by clicking the link in the description. A tremendous thank you to LAFD for the support as always, and thank you for watching. And so that'll wrap it up for this week's update. As always, I've been your host, Craig Fee, and make sure you subscribe to YGO Strats for next week's update to impress your smokin' Italian wife, and so you too can be a true duelist. Hello, true hellos. My name's Hello, and as always, hello.